Hi, I'm Rex Larkin, a member of the Reelcraft Sales and Marketing team, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about our Reelcraft 4000, 5000, and 5005 series reel platform. A little bit about some of the applications where the reels are used, how the reels function, and some of the features that we feel are important to you, our customer. The first model is our 4000 series, and it's used for some of the shorter length and smaller hoses, as well as our base for the cord reels. On the cord reel, it has a collector ring and a cord set versus the hose and swivel. This particular model has an auto switch built into the guide arm, which allows the light to come on and off without having to switch in the handset. All you do is move the bumper away from the guide arm, do your work, and return it, and the light goes off. This is especially important in applications where you have hazardous environments, because we also offer an explosion-proof fluorescent lamp for this model. The next reel is our stainless steel reel. The stainless steel reels are used in a number of applications: food, or applications where you're putting chemical through the hose, or where you have salt spray or aerosols in the air that would otherwise attack steel. What makes this possible is that we have, as you can see here, a stainless spool and base, but also a stainless fluid path, including the shaft and the swivel. This reel here is the larger of the three. It's our 5005, and it's designed for half-inch, 3/8, 50-foot hose, and it's used very frequently in industrial environments for just standard shop air. One of the things that makes this reel unique to the rest of the market is the latching mechanism. The latching mechanism is what we call our quiet latch. It's ideal in noisy environments. You do not have to listen to the clicking sound of the latch and ratchet. You just pull the hose out to the desired length, bring it back a half a turn, stop, do your work, and then just let the hose back. Next, I'm going to talk to you about some of the features of the product itself and how they benefit you, our customer. Now I want to talk in a little bit more detail on how the quiet latch functions. When you pull on the hose, you're turning the spool, and in doing that, you're rotating the latch cam plate and disengaging the latch. You pull the hose out to the desired length, turn it back a half a turn, and the latch re-engages. When you're finished with your task and it's time to store the hose, you simply pull on the hose, pull it past, and let the hose back at a speed that allows the latch to bypass the detent. Kind of like that. Then you can either let the hose back until the hose stop comes in contact with the guide arm, or you can stop in an intermediate position by simply slowing down on the hose and allowing the latch to re-engage. We found that this latch is very well received in the marketplace. It's proven and will function perfectly. However, we do have some customers that prefer the function of a traditional latch and ratchet. Therefore, we have added that as an option to this product. We put the ratchet on the spool. You take the spool, you put it on the base, and the ratchet and latch will then engage. And it operates the same as the quiet latch otherwise. One thing that we did do is we incorporated the torsion spring on the latch. In our testing, we've proven that the torsion spring will outlast the tension spring about 10 to 1. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the design and function of our drive springs. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about our drive spring, some of the aspects of its design, how it functions, and some of the things that we do to extend its service life. One of the first things we do is we start with high quality spring steel. The spring steel is slit to the right width per our specification. The edge of it is then conditioned to remove any imperfections. The reason that's important is just the slightest imperfection on the outside edge of the material can cause a premature failure. We then wind the springs in-house. We add a little bit of a form to the inside of the coil, as well as what we call free coils. And the free coils keep the spring from getting over-tightened in the first several turns of the spool. We take the spring arbor, which has a little bit of a curve in here that engages the loop. When the hose is pulled and the spool turns, that tightens the spring arbor and adds kinetic energy to the spring. When it's time to release the hose, the arbor turns in reverse. We take the spring then and we put it in a spring case, and that spring case is put on the reel. The last thing I want to talk about is our swivels. We have several swivel designs available depending on the fluid and the pressure. This particular swivel happens to be for our low pressure air water application. It comes with an oil light bushing that's pre-lubricated, offering extended life, as well as this bent tube. The bent tube gives you perfect hose transition from inside the spool onto the spool for the first turn. As you can see, all these aspects in design added together gives you a high quality reel from Reelcraft. But should you have any further questions regarding this product, please contact our customer service group at 800-444-3134. Or you can find us on our web at reelcraft.com. Thanks for listening.